Hi guys, Dr. Rachel here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about our education piece, our health tip of the month for the month of December. Today we want to talk a little bit about vitamin D. So vitamin D is a vitamin, but really vitamin D actually in our body acts as a hormone and plays an imperative role in many different functions in our body. So the most known function of vitamin D is in regards to bone health. So that's kind of the longest standing research-wise. Vitamin D is super imperative for calcium absorption into our bones, and so creating bone density and kind of like the hardness of our bones. Vitamin D plays a major role in that. There is more research in the last number of years that really has shown, a couple of the articles that we're sharing with you this month talk about how vitamin D plays a major role in immune function and mental health as well. And so those are two of the biggest things that I really wanted to talk about today. So immune function, vitamin D plays a major role in regards to how our immune system is activating and how our immune system is signaling and sending our helper T cells and that kind of other parts of our immune system to fight off the junk that we're encountering in our lives. So if we have low vitamin D, we don't get as active of an immune response. The two other things are in regards to hormone health and mental health. So in regards to hormone health, vitamin D plays an active role in the synthesis and then breakdown of estrogen. And estrogen is one of our female hormones that really relates to fertility and cycle regulation. So if we aren't synthesizing and then namely detoxing estrogen, that can throw off our estrogen progesterone ratio. And when our estrogen progesterone ratio is thrown off, that impacts our fertility status. So having optimal vitamin D to facilitate that process is imperative to optimal hormonal health, and a big part of not breaking down estrogen is also related to PCOS. So if that's something that you're curious about or you're looking for more information on, make sure that you ask us about it in office and we can chat more about that as well. The last big thing that we recently found out and that we're, I shouldn't say recently found out, but that we're finding more research and stuff on is the link of vitamin D in regards to mental health. So one of the articles that we're sharing with you today talks about the impact of vitamin D and the correlation with different mental health conditions. And so there's more research talking about how low vitamin D is linked to depression, anxiety, even they're talking about different issues and different struggles that kids are having in relation to autism and ADHD, and even linked to incidence and increase in suicidal thoughts. So something that's interesting is if we increase a vitamin D status, then we can often see the correlation and a decrease in some of these symptoms and some of these conditions as well. So please take a peek at some of the articles that we're sharing with you this month. And if you have more questions or you're looking for more resources, we are happy to help you find some and just make sure that you're getting this information into your life as well. So a couple more things I wanted to touch on with this. Vitamin D is not something that we often get from our diet. So most of our foods don't have a very high source of vitamin D. So vitamin D is most often we have to supplement it because the other main source of vitamin D that we get is from the sunlight. But we live in northern Wisconsin and we're entering the middle of winter. And so we are not being exposed to the sun as much as we ideally would be. And a big part of that sun exposure and how we absorb vitamin D is through our skin. So even if you're in the middle of summertime, most of us are clothed most of the time. So you really would have to be walking around naked in your swimsuit almost every single day to be able to get full absorption of sunlight through your skin. So if you're wearing pants and a t-shirt, pants and a sweatshirt, that kind of thing, even shorts and a t-shirt, you're not exposing a whole ton of your skin to be able to absorb that vitamin D and then convert it into a usable form in our bodies. So really supplementing vitamin D is a major way that we get it into our diets. We have a couple options in-house. So this is one of our kids' vitamin D options. So it's a gummy option, easier for kids to take. And then we've also got two options, a capsule and then a liquid form. The capsule is great and is always a great option to have on hand, but the most bioavailable form to be able to absorb into our blood is going to be the liquid form. So the droppers and a couple of vitamin D drops just into a smoothie, if you can just take it right in your mouth, that kind of thing. Even putting in a little bit of juice for a kiddo, something like that is a really great option to be able to increase our vitamin D consumption on a day-to-day basis. So check out the video or check out the articles for a little bit more information. And if you have questions, just let us know.